The one player that I'm surprised from, I guess, the other side looking in, is Rishabh Pant's not in that team. I think India have got someone very special if they manage him correctly. I know he hasn't done great in the one-days, but I saw him play in England last summer, where the World Cup is. I saw him play in Australia in the winter. And what happens in England is, people will say seam and swing. Everyone says, oh, it's England, it'll be swinging.
Nope.
The white ball has not swung and seamed for 4 years, since the last World Cup. The pitches will be belters. The pitches will be, come on, you've got to remember it's an ICC run event, so they direct the ground staff into how much moisture is in the surface. It'll be dry, it'll spin, but it does just come on nicely. And I look at the way that Rishabh Pant plays, forget his record, he would play well in England, as he did in the Test series last year. Very similar to Australia, when the ball comes on, he plays the quicks nicely. You know, he likes to just use the pace, and he's so dangerous against spin. He's a free spirit and plays stupid shots, as we've seen. But I just look at someone like him, to not be in the squad of 15, just waiting in the wings as a little wild card, just to throw in. I'm surprised that he's not in the squad.
There's a reason. We'll just show you this other quote as well, because this is a popular question. This is a question that's being asked, of course. So you're saying that one of the wicket keepers will make it only if MS is injured. Obviously, under pressure, we have seen Dinesh Karthik finishing matches. Pant is full of talent. There's a lot of time for him. It's just unfortunate that he missed out.
You know, there's one other quote.
Yeah.
Normally, you tend to give, selection is a tough job, so normally you tend to allow them their little idiosyncrasies. But the quote was that we wanted the better keeper.
Yeah.
And so we went Dinesh Karthik. That's the one bit of today's announcement I didn't understand, because the toughest gig in wicket keeping is Test match cricket.
Yeah.
Rishabh Pant was preferred over Dinesh Karthik towards the halfway through the England tour. Halfway through the England tour, Karthik started in England. Rishabh replaced him midway through the England tour as a keeper and kept through the Test matches in Australia. So if you're the number one keeper in Test match cricket, number two, Saha still number one, but he wasn't available, then you're probably deemed to be the better keeper. I think they like the calmness of Dinesh Karthik.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure it is the better keeper they have picked, but it is the better statesman, the calmer player. And I'm just looking at White List A records, and that's what a statsman looks at. A selector does what Michael just said and says, is there something extra about him that I want to pick? The records are in List A cricket. Karthik in 31 innings averages 67. Rishabh in 35 innings averages 31. He's only played 3 one-day internationals. There's no data to go by. So unless they were going by that, or they just needed someone who maybe brings a calm head. And I never thought I'd say this 3-4 years about DK. I mean, we love DK, but having a calm head was not what we would have
Exactly.
said. But he's a different person now.
I just wonder, with you mentioned that Virat potentially could have had the final say in the last two selections.
I'm assuming. I mean, you sat in selection committee meetings.
Well, I would hope that the captain gets exactly what he wants. I did when I was a skipper. And I just look at Virat Kohli when he's out in the middle. When he's got MSD behind the stumps, he looks like he's more in control. The tactical side of the game is better. And obviously he's got MS Dhoni just giving him a few tips. He's been found out a little bit at the RCB this year tactically. He doesn't have MS Dhoni. He doesn't have it doesn't look to me like he's got a real great lieutenant next to him, just guiding him with a few tactical kind of decisions. And I just wonder, with Dinesh Karthik, captain of KKR, and I just wonder when the decision was being made, if you go with Rishabh Pant behind the stump, Rishabh will just play the game and he'll just play it in a youthful way, which is great to watch, but probably behind the stumps he's not going to give you too much guidance as a captain tactically. And I just wonder whether that was one of the reasons why they went with Dinesh Karthik.
Yeah, the thing is, this Pant and Karthik debate would have been, it would have been a debate. It would have swung either way, whether Pant was selected or Karthik was selected. But I think the problem that most people are having is just the confusion in communication. Because as Harsha said, he's playing the test matches, Pant, but they've said that DK is a better keeper, even though he replaced DK in the test matches. And then when they picked Pant earlier in Australia, they said we're picking him because he gives a better balance to the team because he's a left-hander. That was in India. And then now we only have one left-hander. There's only Shikhar Dhawan who's a left-hander, and this is all right-handers. So I'm really confused.
That's another reason. Yeah. You've got Jadeja that'll come in probably 8, left-hander, but I do look at the best batting lineups. They generally have combinations all the way down. They have just like little breaks, a 3 and a 5, left hand, right, and it's just harder for a captain to set the plans when you've got right hand, left hand. And I look at Rishabh Pant. I think he can get your teams to 330, 350s. He's that style of player. I look at the Indian team that's been picked, and it looks to me like a 280, 300 selection. Now, if they're those kind of wickets and they get drier and drier as the tournament goes on, which we suggest they probably will, as happened in the last Champions Trophy that Pakistan won, as happened in the Champions Trophy in England before that India won. So India will be fine if that's the case. If the scores are 330, 340, which potentially it could be, I don't think India have got enough power.
But
There's a nail and there's a hammer, and he just hit it there.
he just goes. Michael Vaughan just went straight to it.
India are becoming more and more, especially with MSD playing that big role in between.
Yeah.
MSD is fantastic in a 260, 270 kind of game when he can control it with his batting. So I worry about 320, 330 games for India.